Welcome, everyone, to an online Tecmo Super Bowl tournament game. From group play, we have as the Washington Redskins, Dueceloose, and as the Minnesota Vikings, the Shield, also known as Tim, depending on who you're talking to. And we'll get right into it. Recording begins at the beginning of the game with the kickoff being returned by Herschel Walker. Walker out near the 9-yard line, fumbles the ball, and is instantly recovered by the right near the 10-yard line. With the 11-yard line officially, Mark Rippon in the game. Biner with a run 3. Gets cleaned up by the defensive line of Minnesota Vikings. Second and goal from the 9. Second down or 9, rather. Biner back-to-back with the run 3. Not a great gain again. Third and goal, or 3rd and 4, and called pass 4. Looks like Tim saw that coming. Field goal attempt incoming here. And actually, this is not the beginning of the game. Looks like the recording is in progress. So somehow another 7 points are scored. Not quite sure how that all came about. The kickoff must have been right after their touchdown. So it looks like the Shield is down by 10. Goes with the weak side open. Walker with a great run, maneuvering between the lanes there. Not sure who has a tapping advantage yet in this match. Shotgun play. Whiskey Weed Wilson keeps it on the ground, calls his own number. 2nd and 5. Back to the weak side open play. Cuts back inside again with Walker. Still in the first quarter. Run and shoot formation. Run 3 coming. Walker gets held up on his own blocker. Was able to get 6 yards on the gain. Start of the second quarter. Red Gunzy pass 4. And intercepted. Mark Mayhew, I believe, at the bottom there, coming away with the pick. Really an ill-fated throw. You need 3 anyway just to get the tie game after a touchdown, so got to be a little smarter with decision-making there. Slow delivery from Whiskey Wade. That's why the JJs are so effective. And now with a JJ of his own, Gary Clark receives one from Mark Rippon. These teams are very similar in that they both have really lackluster quarterbacks with really good wide receivers. The better wide receivers are on the Vikings. Are on the Redskins. Better quarterback is on the Vikings. Positionally, the defenders with Bronner and Millard being in the middle of the field offer a little more advantageous, although the overall back end of the Redskins is better. Running backs are also better on the Redskins, and we have a burn route there beating the defender down below. Mark Rippon makes an excellent throw, and we have a touchdown. And we have quite the deficit here for Tim the Shield to make up here. Really like to see what would happen on that first drive. Checking conditions here. I'm not sure if it was Jones that showed up isn't good. Looks like pass 2 is called here. Throws it to Hassan Jones, but he's wide open, cannot bring it in. Things not going Tim's way at this point in the game. Run 3. Gets the blocking help that he needs. And a good run by Tim here. up past the 40, out to about the 45, 46 yard line. His own territory, 1:45 remaining. Don't know who received the ball first. I'm going to guess that Deuce must have based on the score, but could be wrong there. Throws the ball up to Carter, and it's intercepted, and I think it's a little early for that throw with that coverage. I think you can try to advance the ball and wait for another advantageous scenario. Called pass one, and he gives the ball right back. Joey Browner, stationary, waited for that one. So Tim dodges a bullet here. Called pass two, and that's deflected, and Deuce was definitely a position where that could have been picked. Mayhew being controlled this time. And here's one of the shots that you take. 17 seconds. There was really no one available underneath, otherwise, maybe going for a field goal was definitely a possibility. And not sure if a field goal was something that Revez can do at that position on the field. Carter getting down the field in a hurry, but not enough, but that's the end of the half. So quite the deficit here. If Tim wants a chance to come back in this game, hopefully he's got the kickoff coming his way. If not, he's going to be down 3+ possessions. So, okay, so he is getting this back. A 3 would have been nice there again. If anyone knows in the comments if Fuad Revez could have been able to put that field goal in if it was, in the right position, at the 50, kicking probably somewhere near the 50 or the 45-yard line, possibly. Not sure how many yards back that goes, but I don't know what Fuad's kicking ability is that allows that. So. And run 3, 5 yards, good diving tackle by Deuce. I've played Deuce a few times, and definitely a good player. He's very good at utilizing those skill position players and getting the dive tackles. The Shield keeps it himself. Takes it in with Wilson, gets a first down. And that's the thing with the Vikings is that you can get the yards in chunks, but you got to do it in such a way where, you take the calculated risks situationally. So something like a third down, and they don't call the pass play, throw it up deep. If they intercept it, it's good as a punt. If not, live and die another day. But now Tim is starting to take advantage of those stationary targets. They're starting to come open. And now he's able to mix it up a little bit. Again, getting caught in his own blocker. I don't know if maybe he's experiencing some lag or something. Really, not something that I typically see out of Tim when we play. Tim the Shield is a Wisconsin native, and at the GBLAN tournaments and get-togethers that we have, he's a regular there. And certainly that's not something that we see a lot out of him. So I'm going to guess that there's probably some latency. For those of you that are new to online Tecmo, what I'm seeing here is what the emulator recorded as far as inputs. And then I'm creating a video based on the results of that. So we're not seeing it quite the way that they saw it because there would be, different stutters and whatnot throughout the game. Depending on who you're playing, the connection is typically pretty stable, but once in a while you're going to get stutters like that. So Tim will put together a really nice drive here, and Mayhew gets popcorned off, runs into 2 engaged players there, and Herschel Walker, uncontested, untouched, into the end zone. So Tim put himself back in this game here by capitalizing on that first possession. We really can't do anything about that fumble early on with Herschel Walker on the kick return. Sometimes that just happens and you gotta roll with the punches. So Tim will need 2 scores to tie it up. Potentially take it. If he can get 2 touchdowns, he'll take the lead. And a good start for him on defense with having Deuce pinned back on his own end. It looked like Mitchell and Biner in good, Joe Howard in good, although I don't know if that's something you would actually leverage in this game. Monk, Clark, and Sanders are all better. If you were going to just try to chuck it down and you just want all wide receivers with high receptions, potentially you might put them in, but I think there's better options, especially with the three that you have. Typically you can space them out in such a way that one of them will be open if they're going to be. And what we're seeing now is Ernest Biner in good condition is really moving fast, and is going to be a problem if Tim can't get him bottled up. And Deuce just wisely using the entire field in front of him, threatening that deep ball to his receiving core. And that time, last time he made that try, he went for a touchdown on pass 3 there. That time, separation wasn't quite there, and the ball is not completed. Biner is moving real good right now. That rushing speed is boosted up, and I don't know if we're going to see a condition check here soon again. Fourth quarter. Got called pass 2, and we got JJ to Clark. That's a bread and butter anytime you've got good receivers and a quarterback with a slower delivery. That's a great place to go if the defender does not get in that space. Same play call, just not called by the defense. Tries to go to the tight end position there and is unsuccessful. I don't know if that was a doink or if it was considered a covered catch at that point. Or, I'm sorry, a covered receiver at that point. Run to the top with Biner, third down, forced big down here for the Shield and Deuce. Deuce does not want to give the ball back. Burn route attempt there. And Browner with that speed gets back just in time to cover. And big down here. With Low Miller, you almost wondered, is this a situation where you might want to go for another field goal? But 4th and 5, and we have a called run 3. So Deuce leaving points on the field potentially. Not sure how his long kicking game is. He'd have to go against Merriweather rushing the kick, so he may not have enough time to get it off if he wants to really lock that down. So Tim, the ball back, plenty of time in the third here if he can get a score. And if he just needs to move the ball maybe 10-15 yards to have a real decent field goal attempt opportunity. Of course, you're always thinking about scoring. And he calls a play here. The hot route is to Clark, which is the RB2. That's your third button progression in that route tree. Running back 3, a run 3, and another great dive by Deuce. He's really good at that. Joe Green, and I like what he's doing. He's mixing up between Mayhew and Green. He thinks it's coming. He's basically, if he's calling run, he's calling the opposite side of the field. Looks like another run call potentially here. And they can't get to Wilson as much as the defenders are trying there. The front seven of the Redskins is kind of pedestrian. No real studs there. So you rely on the back 4 to keep you in the game. Man's okay, but they just don't have a lot of speed. And all the interception rating is in the secondary. Big third down here for Tim. He spent a lot of time coming down from the 50. And another great dive potentially would have put, if he gets engaged by that blocker, would have put Tim in the end zone. Huge stop there. It looked like he may have had an alley to the end zone. And a fumble here. Anthony Carter picks it up. Third down here. It looks like they're splitting taps, which is always exciting. You never know what's going to happen on a particular engagement. Calls run 3. And you need 2 scores here. Do you take the field goal? He's got time to think about it. And he must be wondering, am I going to get down here again? If he doesn't, this is really putting the game out of reach if he can't get the points. And that's a risk you take going for it. Touchdown was possible there. I think he would have needed to run that a little bit closer. He had the guy, he had the spacing he wanted as far as, but there's just not enough time there. At player 2, he just wasted a little too much time there at the end. And I apologize. I thought we were in the third quarter. It must have been in the fourth. We had kind of accelerated timeline there with the missing the part of that first quarter there. So really difficult to get that extra possession as player 2 because the percentage of the onside kicks is so low at about 0.5%. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. The Shield and Deuce, I'm sure will give anyone a tough game. If you have the chance to play them all casually, I'd recommend doing so. They're both solid dudes, decent players, and always a pleasure to hang out with those guys. So thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Let us know if you know that my question to you was about Fouad Rivez. Could he, from that spot on the field, would he have been able to hit a field goal if it was accurate enough? And then, of course, if you like content like this, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time on GBLAN Tecmo.